In this section, we will be covering the logical functions. The logical functions in Excel is basically your four part, that is and, if, not, or. Most of the logical function that has been considered in case of Excel or in our general use is only your if. Okay. But your logical function is also the and, not, or. Now, when we see the nested if condition, it's basically a combination of if and, if not, if or. Now, and, not, and or are based on the logical gate function. So those from the computer sciences background or those who have read computer sciences can understand that we have got a logical function. In case of logical functions, basically the multiplication, this is reverse, and this is addition. So in case of and, we will see where that at least both all the conditions should be met. In case of not, it will be just reverse of that. In case of or, it will be at least one of the conditions should match the requirement. Then if is basically the logical test that need to be performed. Let's take a simple example. We have got three persons for the sales, that is Ram, Shyam and Sita. The sales has been 1000, 6000 and 2000, but the target that was given was 5000, 5000 and 4000. So it's just want to see whether it has been achieved or not achieved. So the function is quite simple for that. Any function we start with if. Okay. The shortcut to use the inside the function is use the function of tab, okay, on your keyboard. Then write the logical function. So what is the logic function? That if this is greater than or equal to this, then we have to put the value if it is true. Okay, so if you remember when we talked about the string function, we said that it will be always in the double quotes. Now the condition here is that the cells is greater than or equal to the target. Okay. So we will be writing that it has been achieved. And then put a comma, and then next function is that if it is false, then what it need to do. Okay. Simply not achieved. Always remember that we need to put double quotes when we are using the string function. So you got not achieved, and then we have got one thing that it achieved. Okay, so we see that the sale is 6000 and the target was given as 5000, but in case of Ram the sale was 1000, the target given was 5000. In case of Sita it is 2000 and 4000. We can always combine different functions related or different calculation inside the if function. Okay. So for example, if we want to calculate the commission that need to be paid, okay, if tab logical function, we have given the logic. Then what to do when the value is true is that we want to give the commission of the sale, that is 10%. And if this condition is not matching, then will be given only 5% of the sale. Okay, so what is happening here, that the sale is 1000, the target was 5000, so the person did not meet the target. Okay, so the condition, as far as our logical condition is concerned, the logical condition has not been met. Okay, so what the calculation says that if the condition is not matching, we will go for 10%. so if the condition is not matching, we'll go for 5%. If the condition is matching, that means that sale is either equal to or greater than 5,000, then we'll get the Ram will or any salesperson will be getting 10% of the commission. And if it is not matching, then it will he or she will be getting 5% of commission. As since in the case of Ram, it is not matching, so we will be giving him only 5% of the commission. But in case of Shyam, we are giving 10% of the commission. Now, in case of and basically adds two conditions to that. Okay, if you simply write the function of okay, and says that we have to add logic 1, logic 2, logic 3. Okay, independently, and it does not makes any changes, okay, or any addition to the whatever we want to do the calculation. Okay, because it adds logics. Okay, it's a part of the logical function. So if we want to write and only, okay, it will not make any difference in the calculation, because the even if we give the logic, okay, now what the logic the Excel need to do with that logic is not, we are not able to define in case of and. Okay, similarly that is the same condition when we are using the or function. Okay, it is also asking the logical function. Okay, so when we are using the logicals, okay, logical 1, logical 2, and so on, Excel will not able to understand what the logic, what is the Excel, we want the output from the Excel. Whatever the function we are looking forward for or designing anything in Excel, we want to see the output of that result. In case of functions like and or, we are not getting any output. So this is basically to add in combination of your if function or any other functions that is related to logical function. Okay, so that is the same case in case of not. Okay. Not is just logical. What is happening is that it will convert 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Okay, so if it is not, is we are giving logical. Okay. If it is yes, let's see what is happening. It's create a value function. Okay. So let's so whatever the logic we are trying to give, it will reverse that logic. So what is happening here is our condition that C58, that is this value, okay, if it is yes, okay, forget about the not function as of now. Okay, let's understand the if function, then it will be very easy for us to understand the not function also. If C58 is yes, then type 1 is 0. Okay, so ideally what would happen that C58 here is yes. Okay, so what the function need to give the output as 1. Okay, because it says that if this logic is, this is the logic of the if function, this is the value if it is true. Now if C58 is yes, that is what we are saying here is yes. Okay, this function, this particular logic is correct. Okay, then it's 1, else it will be 0. Now what the not function is doing is that it is reversing the C58. Okay, so it is saying that if C58 is not equal to yes, so not equal to yes can be anything, it can be anything, no or na or anything. Okay, but it will be not equal to yes. In that case what it will do, it will give not equal to yes, so it will give as 0, as 1 or 0. Okay, so what we see here is that it is not equal to yes, so it is giving an output of 0 here. Okay. So if we drag it down, we will see that when it was no, it converted into yes, that it is not equal to yes, then it has given 1, and so then 0. Now we can again go for the other functions related to and. Now in case of and, we have to test to item to test. So we have got 500 and got 800. Okay. Now we have to check a combination here. Okay. Now combination, what is happening is that we have to check whether the logics are correct or not. Now this is C4 is greater than equal to 100 and D4 is greater than equal to 100. So what is giving is that it's a true, that the yes, the both of the logic is correct. Okay. But that is not in the case of other part. Okay. So basically this true and false is there, but we are not able to get any information or any output or understanding of why it is true or false. We are just able to say that yes, both of the conditions are matching and both of the conditions are not matching. Similarly, here we have got Ram as getting in maths 80, English 75, physics 85. Okay. So basically, what we want to here to check that whether this is greater than average or not greater than average. Okay. But we want to say whether that here what we see when we are using the function of and, that we are getting true or false. Okay. So we want to say that if the average is it is greater than average, then the person has passed the examination or not passed the examination. So what we can do is use the function of if in combination with the and function. Okay. So when we are saying, so in the logical test itself, we will write the and function. Okay. Then this is greater than equal to average. English is greater than equal to average of English. Physics is greater than equal to average of physics. We close the R function. Now it is here too important that we need to freeze the cells. Freezing the cell is using the F4 function on your key, on your keyboard. Okay, it will give you the freeze the cell. Then we have to say that when we are using the string function, so we said it will be passed or else it will fail. Just let's make it simple. If we drag it down, we see that there are Ram has passed the examination, Hari has passed the examination, and Nita has passed the examination. Okay, rest of the people has failed the examination. Why they failed the examination is that in case of two of the subject, Shyam in case of English and physics was not able to get over and above the average. In case of Sita, she was able to make ahead of maths in and English, but was not she was not able to make pass the average of physics. Okay, so what is happening that either any of the condition if it is not matching. In case of and, all the conditions should match. Okay. It is very important to understand that in case of or function and and function, all the conditions should match, else any of the if any of the condition is not matching, it will not give the output as true. Okay. Or the value, that is what we are putting as a true function in case of and. Let's look at the not function. Okay, we have already seen an example of converting the not function. Okay, so not function, what is doing is just reversing the condition that was given to us. Okay, in case of or function, OR function is also, you can say, it's an addition. So what is happening is that either of the condition, in case of AND, what was happening, all the conditions should match. In case of OR function, either of the condition need to match. Okay. Say for example, we have to check the condition. So the condition, we need to invoke the function of if. Okay, if then equal to if, then hit the tab function, it will create a bracket opening parenthesis. Okay, then we need to put the logical function. So what we did in case of AND, starting before the logical function, we started with the AND function. Okay, so in case of here, we will be using the OR. Okay, then we will check about the logical function. Okay, now logical function says that we have to check the condition that if it is equal to visa, then we have to enter a second condition. Okay, so we are giving here as E4 is equal to delta. Then when we closing, it will be asking what is required if it is to be true. So we give the handling charges as 5 rupees, or else it will give at 0. Okay. So we get the 0 here. But in case of the function, we are getting 5. Now what is happening is that our condition says that either of the condition, that the E5 should be is either visa or delta. Any of this condition is matching. Okay, it will give as output as 5, or else it will give an output as 0. Okay, so what we are saying here, that we have got visa here. Okay, so any of the conditions, so first condition E5 is equal to visa is matching, that is why it will continue with the true function and it will move forward. Okay. Now what is happening in case of E7, we have got delta here. Okay, so if this is not matching, it will go to match with the E7. Second condition. Okay, so it will check if it is delta, then it will move forward. Okay. So Excel what is actually doing is that it will go in sequence in which you have mentioned here. Okay. So if we say that first it will check for the visa, then it will check for delta, and then if any of the condition is matching, it will move forward. Okay. In case of AND function, it was similar. Okay, it will check whether the E7 is matching. Okay, and then it will check whether the delta is matching. Okay. Now, if the E7 is equal to visa, let's go and see here. Okay, so if this condition is matching, okay, then it will check for this condition. If this condition is not matching, it will not move to this condition. Okay, so if this condition is matching, then it will be moving to this condition. If both of the condition are matching, then it will move to this condition, and then it will give the output. All the three conditions will be matching. But in case of OR function, what is happening? If this condition is matching, fair enough. If it's not matching, then also it will go to the next function. Okay. That is the difference between the AND function and the OR function.